What is the impact of capital punishment? Have you ever thought about how capital punishment affects our society? The death penalty, or capital punishment, raises many ethical and moral questions that touch on our values and beliefs. Let's break down the impact of capital punishment and how it relates to ethics, moral relativism, and normative relativism. First, we need to consider the moral justification behind capital punishment. Some people believe that taking the life of someone who has committed a serious crime, like murder, is a way to achieve justice. This idea is rooted in retribution, where the punishment matches the severity of the crime. Supporters argue that when someone commits murder, they lose their right to life. This perspective emphasizes fairness and respects the dignity of victims and their families. Next, let's talk about deterrence. Some argue that capital punishment can prevent future crimes by discouraging potential offenders. If people believe that the consequence of murder is death, they might think twice before committing such an act. However, the evidence on whether the death penalty effectively deters crime is mixed. Many studies show inconclusive results, making this argument a topic of ongoing debate. Another important aspect is the risk of error. Capital punishment carries the possibility of executing innocent people, which raises serious ethical concerns. Wrongful convictions challenge the legitimacy of the death penalty. Additionally, issues like racial bias and unequal application of the law can undermine the fairness that capital punishment aims to achieve. There are also ethical questions about the role of medical professionals in executions, as it may conflict with their moral duties. From the viewpoint of moral relativism, the ethics of capital punishment can vary widely. Different cultures and societies have their own beliefs about the morality of the death penalty. Some may see it as acceptable, while others view it as wrong. This pluralistic view complicates the search for a universal moral standard regarding capital punishment. Finally, capital punishment impacts societal values and moral norms. It reflects our beliefs about the sanctity of life and the consequences of breaking laws. The death penalty communicates a strong message about the seriousness of certain crimes and society's commitment to justice. However, it can also perpetuate cycles of violence and raise questions about whether state-sanctioned killing aligns with broader commitments to human rights. In practical terms, the impact of capital punishment extends to shaping public attitudes toward justice, influencing the integrity of the legal system, and affecting international views on human rights. The ongoing ethical debate weighs the need for justice for victims against the respect for human life, highlighting the moral challenges that capital punishment presents.